Good afternoon, day, evening, whenever you choose to watch this. My name is Chris. This is the March 4th installment for my review of NXT. The first match featuring Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox was semi-entertaining. I saw a Japanese arm drag. Haven't seen that in a long time. It's nicely done. It takes both competitors to execute that, to have it look like it's being executed correctly. The one pushed the arm up and the other one is the person's flipping. Basically, Tegan Nox's brute, which was Raquel Gonzalez, they were in a steel cage match. I don't know if I mentioned that. Hey, sorry. Wouldn't let Tegan Nox basically leave the ring via the door over the top rope. And at the end, she pinned the door and Tegan to the wall so she couldn't do anything so that Dakota Kai could come out. It was okay. I mean, it's an entertaining match. I'm glad Dakota Kai is a heel because she's been through so many characters as a face that doesn't seem like it was working. Just like Io Shirai. Io Shirai is another great example. No one really noticed. There's too many good guys, not enough bad guys. At least NXT is trying to figure it out. Okay, the second match of the evening was Chelsea Blackheart versus Chelsea Green for the Robert Stone brand. It was a pretty short match. Chelsea Green finished off Chelsea Blackheart with the I'm Prettier, which is the unprettier version of Christian's finisher. It's the same finisher. It's similar. I don't know what they're doing with that or what they're trying to do with that. Seems like she can wrestle any more than anyone else in that women's division, but they need to build it up a little bit more than what's happening for any interest to be piqued. At the end of this match, they were doing commercials, and there was another End is Near viral video where they were showing a crow and some kind of gear. And I think there was some kind of thing that said apocalypse is near. Again, I think I've talked about this last week and the week before. No idea what's going on there. I guess we'll just have to see. I don't want to speculate and be wrong because I'm sure the internet's already figured out who it is or what it is, and I'd rather just be surprised and not have things ruined. After that, Keith Lee came out, basically has the crowd by his hands, was talking about who he should face for his United States Championship, and it's amazing his crowd control. It's the only other person I can think of is The Rock, or recently The Rock, where people would just stop talking, and it's very hard to do nowadays in wrestling because people just talk over you or say something because it's like a demanding respect kind of thing, and it seems like he has it or just embraces the cheering. Cameron Grimes came out, and for proof that he has complete mic and crowd control, he wasn't able to speak. He would literally talk louder and louder and get booed and booed louder and louder. Keith Lee basically even tried helping him by saying, I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. As soon as he started talking again, boo. So, I like Cameron Grimes. He's pretty athletic. He's pretty versatile. I think I talked about him in a couple matches, at least one, a couple weeks ago. He matches up well with tall people his height, bigger people. So, you can put him anywhere. He'll just fit in, which is really cool. I guess they talked about a match that was going to occur next week, which should be good because they're both extremely athletic and extremely versatile for their sizes. Keith Lee's earned everything. I'm really glad he's United States champion. Okay, number 4, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Not a whole lot to take away from that match other than Kyle O'Reilly sells extremely well, like almost too well, almost like Shawn Michaels-esque. It seems like he can make any finisher or any move look amazing, and he sells perfectly. I don't know if he knows angles and cameras where they are. He sells like he's getting legitimately hurt, and that's really hard to do. Most of you wrestling fans know, it takes the other person selling as much as the person doing the finisher or the move. think of a suplex. Obviously, the person's going to lift a little bit to help you pendulum over. If it's, dead weight and no one's doing anything, it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to look a lot worse, and no one wants that. So it's really good to have people that sell very well. I mean, he's part of the Undisputed Era, so I guess he's got the limelight, but it seems like they don't include Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish a whole lot visually, because Kyle O'Reilly's, he's a great wrestler, but he's kind of awkward looking, and I don't know if there's like a look thing. I think he's fine, but his in-ring talent should surpass all of that, and they're a great tag team. They're not getting buried by any stretch. Yeah, they put people over. They finished him off. They finish off Tony Lorcan and Danny Burch. I'm sorry, I forget his name all the time. With what I like to call the total elimination from ECW, which is the leg sweep and a kick over, so that he's in the middle, he falls. They go like that and it falls. I'm always going to say total elimination. I don't know what they actually call it, but that's what I'm always going to call it. Number 5, Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Austin Theory. Didn't care much for either of these guys until very recently. Isaiah Swerve Scott was in a 4-way match for the Cruiserweight Championship a couple months ago, I guess at this point. Just put on, he has like a rolling thunder technique where he's rolling and you don't know if he's going to jump out, counter, kick. He incorporates capoeira a lot into his fighting, which is really cool. Picture Eddie from Tekken, or you guys can Google capoeira. I don't want to say where it's from or what's going on, but it's, fluid motions with your legs, upper body, lower body. I like Austin Theory as well. I didn't really care about him too much in the beginning. He's kind of impressed me since the Tommaso Ciampa match last week, which is saying a lot because he's really young, and if he can figure this out at the age that he's at, then he could go nowhere but up. So hopefully they keep that going and keep him with taller, more athletic people, or smaller, or try to create versatility for him to give him some chances. All right. Austin Theory's finisher was the Austin Theory Lodge, the ATL. I don't know how, it's like a fireman's carry into a diamond cutter. I had to write that down. So it's like kind of like this, and then you flip his body and then diamond cutter. So like neck here. I've seen it before. I've seen it in WCW. Speaking of WCW, buff. Daddy. Okay. Maybe in my later videos I'll do the buff strut, which is the best thing in the world because he has a bunch of different ones. Getting back onto the rails. I'd love to see a longer match. There was lots of potential. This match was probably about 7 or 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes at the absolute most. They're both really talented. They're both quite agile. I'd like to see more. All right. The Johnny Gargano interview was the next part. It was really awkward, but really funny. Basically saying, like, you know why, you don't know why, you guys don't know why. I just, if you knew me, you would know. Between his feud between him and Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Morrow, and he's basically saying, like, why, you don't know me, and he's like, do you know me, did I call you after the match, or this and that, why are you calling me Johnny Turncoat, and this and that. It was pretty entertaining. Johnny Gargano is really good on the mic, and an amazing wrestler, so hopefully that his size does not impede anyone's decision making, because he's amazing. That being said, Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong, the main event for a steel cage match. It's mostly the same. They kind of know each other really well at this point. They've been in several matches against each other. It seems like they're teasing a Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole, because the end of the match, he threw Roderick Strong out of the ring, which got him to win the match, closing the gate afterwards and basically attacking Adam Cole. Hitting him with, some various moves and hitting everyone else and taking his belt and kind of taunting Adam Cole. And then on the top of the cage, he was doing some more taunting. So I'm glad they have a lot of confidence in Velveteen Dream right after his injuries, from him coming back from his injury, which is great, which means somebody agrees, everyone agrees. Otherwise, they wouldn't be pushing him. Really really hope that happens because that seems like a WrestleMania-esque match. They're both amazing wrestlers. Adam Cole's an anchor of wrestling for NXT. Velveteen Dream's been one of my favorite NXT wrestlers since I figured out his gimmick was that he's Prince, like the artist formerly known as, and he's a wrestler, and he's combined. And it's just, it combines a lot of subjects that people didn't want to mess with, 10, 15 years ago, like bisexuality, sort of. If you know Prince, you know what I'm talking about. You're not sure. It's kind of, I don't know, but it's really awesome, and it's very funny, and it's very entertaining because he has a lot of confidence, and so did Prince. And a lot of his songs were straightforward. A lot of his stuff, well, you had no idea what he was thinking about, just like Velveteen Dream. He's nailed it perfectly, both as a person that's was living, R.I.P. Prince, but he's captured the enigma of Prince perfectly, which is, and more than anyone can ask for. So yeah, that concludes March 4th's episode of NXT. I'm Chris. I guess I'll see you guys next week. I can't even do it. Hold on. No. Till next week.